Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell, we're doing a TBR video today, and just like last month, our TBR jar will be picking the reads that we read in October. So before we let our TBR jar pick the reads that we're gonna read, I do want to talk about a few books that I'm going to be reading no matter what, that I don't have the physical copies of. So first we have a new release, which is The Intruder by Frida McFadden, and if you know me, you know Frida McFadden is always an auto read author for me, and even though I don't particularly love every single book that she writes, I have read nearly 20 of her books and they're just so fast-paced, so much fun. And I don't exactly know what this one is about. I've been going into her books blind. I go into most books blind, but like especially hers, I just don't like to read the blurbs of them. I'm just gonna read them no matter what they're about, so I don't necessarily feel the need to read what they're about. But I am very intrigued by this one, and her newest release, The Tenant, was honestly one of my favorites of hers in the more recent books, so I'm very excited. I feel like maybe we're on the track of her books getting a little better. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm very excited to read it no matter what. So we have that book, and then next we have two books. I'm currently reading the Natural series, so we have All In and Bad Blood, which are the third and fourth books in the Natural series, and I am absolutely loving the series, but I've only gotten the chance to read two of the books so far. I'm currently reading the second as we speak, so I want to continue the series in October, and I don't own the physical copies of those, so those are just the three books I'm going to be adding to my October TBR that are like already part of my October TBR that aren't from here. So that's that. So now we can actually choose from our TBR cart. So what I did, I kind of just rearranged some things. I have all of my fall kind of reads, fall spooky season reads up here, all of the books that I can see myself reading right now, like I'm in the mood for them, and they kind of give this seasonal kind of vibe. And then down here we have romance fiction, and then on this bottom shelf, I don't even know if you guys can see it, we have more fiction, historical fiction, and then a little bit of fantasy and some thrillers. But we're gonna try to stick to my like more October fall section up here, just because that's what I'm in the mood for, but obviously we have all of these books to choose from. So with that being said, let's get out our little TBR jar and we can pick our first prompt. Okay, prompt number one is a book with a pink cover. So as you can see, I have quite a few here. None of these have pink covers, unfortunately, so we are gonna have to choose from one of these. So we have Call It What You Want, and if you watched my September TBR, we're just gonna pretend that I did not pull this for my September TBR and didn't read it. But we have Call It What You Want, Meet Me at the Lake, Wild Love, and By a Thread. So honestly, these two are really giving like summer reads, so I don't think I'm going to read either of those. And now we're back to these two, and honestly I could totally see myself reading this right now. I just feel like it's just gonna be such a cute romance, and like I said in my other video, Call It What You Want is my favorite Taylor Swift song, so I'm very compelled to read this one, and I'm really excited to read this one eventually, but it is really long. It's like over 500 pages, and I don't know, I feel like I need to not read this right now. I think we're gonna go with Call It What You Want for our pink cover. Prompt number two, a book I've been putting off. Where do I begin? I've been putting all of these off, let's be so honest. This could be any book on this, literally any book on this TBR card I could choose for this, because I've not been doing a good job at reading my physical TBR, so we have very many options. I could choose literally any of these right now. I think we're gonna go ahead and go with Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, because this honestly, I'm just looking at all of the books up here, this has been on my TBR the longest, and I have been putting it up for over a year and a half, probably, like a really long time. Like, let's be honest, it's been sitting on my TBR for too long, and look, it's like giving like the fall vibe. I'm like literally matching with it right now. And I had tried to start this like over the summer or like in the spring or something, and I believe it takes place like the first chapter, it starts talking about Halloween night. Yeah, like literally in the first chapter she's talking about her Halloween costume, and I immediately put it down after that because I was like, okay, I need to read this during the fall, so I feel like this is gonna be like the perfect fall read. So this will be our book for a book that I've been putting off. Prompt number 3, a book you bought within the past month. We have 3 options for this one. We have How to Sell a Haunted House, Nothing Like the Movies, and The Heartbreak Hotel. This was my September book of the month book, and then this one I picked up. This one I bought because obviously it's giving like fall spooky season, and then this one I picked up because I have been waiting forever to read this, and again it mentions Halloween. There's like a Halloween party that they go to for like a little bit in the story. I think I don't really know, but these are the only 3 books that I've picked up recently, I believe, or at least in the past month. But I think that we're gonna go with The Heartbreak Hotel. I'm very excited to read this just based on the cover. It just looks so cute, and because I've heard nothing about this yet, I'm very excited to pick it up and sort of form my own opinion on it before I hear anyone else talk about it. So we're gonna go with The Heartbreak Hotel for a book that I bought recently. Okay, and just because I have those 3 other books that I talked to you guys about, I think I'm only gonna pick 2 more prompts just because I don't want to have too many books on my October TBR and then not read it, because let's be honest, I didn't read any of my September TBR. I read 1 book. No, I read 2 books off my September TBR, and that's just horrible, so we're just gonna go with 2 more. So prompt number 4 is highest rated book on my shelf. Okay, so what I'm gonna do actually is I'm just gonna look at the highest rated from here because I don't feel like going through all of these books. So I'm just gonna go to Goodreads and I'm gonna search through all of these books, and then we'll figure out what like the top highest are. Okay, we have a winner, and it's the only book from the top of here that was over 4 stars. At 4.18 star rating, we have Billy Summers, which again, it was on my September TBR and I did not read it. So we're gonna go with this one, and I actually am so excited to read this. And it's like a tradition that I have to read a Stephen King book every October, and usually it's like a little spooky. It's more spooky than like this one, because I don't think this one's spooky at all. Like 2 years ago I read The Shining, and then actually the year before that I read It, and then I read The Shining, and then last year I read Salem's Lot. So this one, it just has to happen this October, and I am excited for it. So we'll get to this one. Actually, we will this month. Okay, for the last one, this is a good one. I feel like we have a 5-star prediction. So let's see. Again, we're gonna try to stick with the top row, and we're looking really at only 2 options for this one. We have Nothing Like the Movies and Forever Interrupted. And my thought process with this one, I rated the first book in this series a 5 stars, better than the movies. I love the book so much, so this is a possible, I don't know, like I haven't heard the best things about this, or I haven't heard that it's as good as the first one, so this is just like a possibility. And then Forever Interrupted we have because most of her books have been 5 stars for me. I've read 6 of her books and 3 of them have been 5 stars, so this is a very high contender. But at the same time, I always love her books. What do we do, guys? This is always so difficult. Okay, we already have a lot of romance. Guys, what do we do? You know what? I think we're gonna go with Forever Interrupted because I just feel like this is a good palette cleanser for all the romance that we have on my physical TBR. And like I said, highest chance of being a 5 stars just because most of her books have been 5 stars for me or close to that. Like the books that I didn't rate 5 stars were like really close to being 5 stars, so I just feel like this has the highest chances of also being 5 stars. And the premise of this book seems really interesting based on the little blurb on the back, so we're just gonna go with this one for the 5-star prediction. So with that being said, we have our October TBR. So just as a little recap, we have Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Billy Summers by Stephen King, Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, Call It What You Want by Alyssa DeRogatis, The Heartbreak Hotel by Ellen O'Clover, And then I have The Intruder by Frida McFadden, and then All In and Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which I do plan on listening to some of these books as audiobooks, by the way. That's why I'm picking the amount that I am. And I do like, I'm gonna hold myself so accountable this month because I will not have a repeat of September where I read 2 of the books that I have on my physical TBR. So look how pretty this stack is though. Like, look at the colors, like, and they're all so fall coated. I am so excited. I love this time of year for reading. It's just so much fun, and I'm really excited about the new release, Frida McFadden. I just eat them up. I eat her books up. They're so fun to read. So very excited about this new month of reading. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe because I will probably be reading all of these books, if not most of them, in like reading vlogs coming up. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss all of my thoughts and opinions on these books. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys so soon. Bye guys.